I've always had this problem with sleeping around people. I don't just mean sleeping in the same bed, I mean sleeping in the same location as them. It just makes me uneasy every night. This feeling that one of them at any moment would rise from the bed and brutally murder everyone in the house. It was precisely that feeling that prevented me from having sleepovers when I was a kid. It was a nasty feeling. One that was especially problematic, seeing as I lived in an apartment with 3 other friends. Before everyone went to bed, I made sure that every door was locked, including mine especially, and that my window was secure. It was a lot of work, but it was so worth the guaranteed safety. These idiosyncrasies went on for a long while until one day my friend had to ruin the system entirely. They were going to be hosting a party at our flat. Parties. So many unknowns, sleeping in my house. It was clear that reasoning wasn't going to get me anywhere, and that my room, in fact, was no safe place for a swarming mass of drunks that could go crazy at any moment. Tonight, I had to get away from it all. Tonight, I was going to sleep at one of the only places I could sleep. What I'm referring to is an old parking lot next to an abandoned mall. The mall had been closed a long time ago due to a string of muggings within the area, and now there is absolutely no reason to be there. The solace of the emptiness of the lot allows was just so blissful. I would go there whenever my friends would host their parties, just so I could get the sleep that I needed. Now, occasionally, there would be a few cars that passed by, an experience that always made me jump, but they never turned into the lot. Neither did they ever question the car parked in there. Thanks to the isolation and safety it offered, it was my own fortress of my sleep disorder. Everything had been going absolutely fine until the insides of my eyes burned red from the oncoming lights. I glanced up to see an SUV parked a good ways from me and then turn its engine off. From then on, my mind was racing. Who was this person? What gives them the right to come into my home? All because of this one SUV. I felt a fire burn within me. Then, that all too familiar paranoia came creeping up my spine. That's them. That's the killer. It finally caught up to you after all of these thoughts came creeping across my mind like 1,000 tiny little spiders burrowing their malefice into my psyche. I felt that I had to at least talk to them or else my safety was at risk. My safety. As I got out of the car to ask why the driver had parked here of all places, I felt this strange tingle work its way up my spine. The kind of soft vibration that your phone would make if you got a call that was muffled under at least 2 pillows. I felt the tingle work its way into my head and then out into my arms, followed by the hard impact of the ground. I awoke at 9:30 in the morning with a splitting headache and a foul smell in my car. I looked into the mirror and saw that I looked like I had been beaten up really bad. My knuckles were cut on a few fingers and my shirt felt damp. Whoever was in that car must have jumped me and thrashed me pretty bad before I got into the safety of my own car. I scanned the parking lot hoping that he had just given up and left. The truck had disappeared, leaving nothing but a few empty beer cans and sunglasses where it appeared to have been some sort of scattered safety glass where it should have been parked. It was odd that a simple parking space could have been so easily disheveled, especially since the guy had left a big, dark pool of oil where he had parked. Seeing as nothing but trouble would come from filing a police report, I settled on just getting home and cleaned up so I could get ready for classes the next day. On the way home, I saw a news reporter standing by the lake shore talking with this determined look on her face. As I passed, I thought I could make out the words missing and search crews. When I arrived home, I was greeted by a field of sleeping drunks. I stepped out into the gaps between the sprawled arms until I arrived at my bedroom door. Dead-bolted shut, secure, safe. I fished through my pockets to get the keys and unlock my safe haven. As I patted myself down, I felt an unfamiliar bulge in my back pocket. Reaching my raw-knuckled fingers down there, I wrapped my fingers around a ring and pulled free a set of keys. A set of SUV keys.